You probably know that I work in the field of volunteering. That's something I'm really passionate about because, as well as working in it, I've been a volunteer for pretty well all of my life. And the reason I'm recording this is because this is Volunteers Week. It's something which happens every single year between the 1st and the 7th of June. But this year, Volunteers Week with a big difference. Because during the pandemic over the last 10 weeks or so, loads of people have volunteered, perhaps for the very first time, to step up in response to the coronavirus outbreak. They've come forward to do things like shopping for their neighbours, supporting people who are vulnerable, perhaps by making phone calls and doing some telephone befriending, in all sorts of different ways, particularly in ways that involve perhaps food and making sure that the essential things get through. There have been the national campaigns to recruit volunteers, and at a very local level, the community groups' responses. This year, let's also remember that because of the pandemic, a lot of organisations have had to close down their services, and so people who previously volunteered currently can't. We must remember those as well, to recognise and to thank them for their contribution. And as lockdown eases, let's hope that they can get back to normal. One of the volunteers who's not able to volunteer at the moment is Sue. What do you miss about not volunteering?
I miss going and belonging to the organisation I volunteer with. I love working on the computer, and I also couple it with meeting friends in town and going shopping as well.
Is there anything else that you've missed during the pandemic?
Oh yes, I miss going to acrobics and meeting friends there, and also doing Tai Chi classes. We do Tai Chi classes online, but it's not the same, but it's still good.
And what have you actually been doing then over the last 10 weeks?
Well, all the general things around the house, but I've also been knitting. I've been knitting hats, prem hats for the hospital, and also a friend of mine's having a baby in July, and I've been knitting baby clothes as well.
One of the real features of the pandemic has been empty streets, and that's because we've been adhering to those government guidelines to try to stay at home and keep safe and try to prevent the virus from spreading. And we've all done that, and we've all done it voluntarily. So every single one of us who've adhered to those guidelines is themselves a volunteer. So thank you. Thanks to the volunteers who stepped forward to help out as a one-off. Thanks to those regular volunteers too. And a very happy Volunteers Week.